I have to start off this video with an apology to Quentin Johnston. I have to apologize because in the draft evaluation, I had him as my #1 wide receiver in this draft, and just no one can overcome that. It's not possible. No one's going to be able to overcome that kind of hurdle. So, sorry to Johnston. I can't figure out with receivers apparently because he hasn't been good this season. There's no denying it. There were 4 wide receivers drafted in a row in this draft class. It was Jackson Smith and Jigba, Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers, and then Jordan Addison. So far, Flowers and Addison look like the best of the bunch. Drafting wide receivers is hard. It is what it is, but still, what's going on with Quentin Johnston? Why has it been so bad? You look at his overall statistics, I mean, just 21 catches for 190 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's it, and we're, close to 2/3 of the way done with the season? I mean, that is not very far. That's not what you want to see have happen. And he's played a good amount of snaps, 390 snaps. So, I mean, he's had 280 passing snaps. Only 21 of those has resulted in a catch. We're talking well under, a yard per route ran, which is not good. Obviously, only 1 touchdown. Are his advanced stats better? Not really. I mean, like his PFF grade, okay. I'm not saying this is like the best advanced stat, but it's something to use. It's not the worst in football. Like there are, 20 wide receivers who are lower than him. So I usually feel like 60 is kind of that replacement level line. He's a little bit below it. So he's kind of right around where you would hope that a guy you sign off the street could be. So I guess at least he hasn't been unplayable. I'll give him that. But he hasn't been good. He hasn't been someone who you're happy with, really. We can go into some film, and I have to say, I usually don't like using broadcast footage for wide receivers, but, the whole DAZN situation for all 22 has been really tough all year. I can't seem to log in now. I have watched tape on Johnston earlier in the year. I was going to make a video earlier and then never got around to it. At least I have, some of the knowledge here, but can't show you stuff downfield. But, we'll get into what I can show you and, what I've seen on other plays. But yeah, let's get into the film. Starting off with this play, Johnston is the receiver closest towards the sideline, running a curl route 5 yards down the field. This seems to be his best asset right now. Does do this a lot and is okay at it. I would say that there are opportunities for him to get open on these plays. Watch as when Justin Herbert takes the snap. Okay, there's a window there, but I would also say it's yeah, that's going to happen, right? You're going to have times when you're open and the ball doesn't come your direction. I'm not expecting you to never be open, but the goal for the Chargers isn't to hit Quentin Johnston as much as possible. It's to get the ball down the field. So instead, Herbert goes somewhere else, and it worked until the fumble. The fumble obviously meant that it didn't work, but, the decision was correct by Herbert on that play. So good stuff, there by the Chargers. But okay, there is at least something Johnston is doing effectively, and sometimes it does work. Heading over here, so this is going to be a zone coverage play, and you see where he's running. Again, just sort of quick curl route. Hopefully can get underneath the zone coverage. All right, well, let's see how this works. Herbert is going to take the snap, and you see, this is good stuff. You see him when he's cutting back, the defensive back is, has his back turned. There is a window to make this throw for Herbert, so Herbert's going to look in that direction. As you see, Herbert makes the throw to Johnston, who falls forward and picks up, 6 or 7 yards. That's okay. You'll take that. That's a good play. I would say, though, it's this kind of is all he's doing right now for the Chargers. This is the one thing I would say that he's been above average at. Everything else he's been either at average at or below average at. And you need him to you just need him to get some wins. Going over here, a play like this is a good example of you need this from a receiver, and you especially need this from a guy who you drafted with hope to be a #1 receiver. When I saw him in college, I thought he could be a #1 receiver. Well, right now, it's not looking that way. It's a 3rd down and 1 situation. You see his route going to be, going over the middle here. As you see when this play begins, it's going to be going up one-on-one against Patrick Queen. And you see Johnston doing the route running stuff. Because, to defend myself a little bit, and part of why I liked Johnston so much coming out of college, I know that, he isn't the fastest receiver, and I know that there is isn't great at contested catches. So I think that's why a lot of people got turned off by him. But I viewed him similar to how I viewed Drake London, in that I thought his route running would be enough. He had a great ability to find ways to get open, and maybe it's just going to take him a little bit of time at the NFL level to figure that out. That is possible. But like in a situation like this, okay, it's zone coverage. You're against, Patrick Queen, who's a good linebacker. He is. I know his career started slow, but he has been a good linebacker for the Ravens these past couple of years. You want to see, Johnston be able to find a way to win. And as you see, this move does not get Queen out of position whatsoever. Queen is able to get over and make the play work. I mean, maybe Johnston could have ran closer towards towards Herbert. It was 3rd and 1, so you had a couple yards to work with trying to get the first down. But as a whole, again, it's one of those things, we can talk about why it's not working and hopefully how you can fix it. At the end of the day, though, it's just not working. It's not like he's getting open down the field and Herbert's missing him or anything like that. When he's open, Herbert's hitting him a lot of the times. Maybe not every time, but a lot of the time. It's just that, like, when they need him to make a play and they're looking for him to make a play, he's not making the play. Again, for a number 1 receiver, you want them to be the guy who you just look towards and throw the ball up and they win. Like, that's how you view a number 1 receiver. He's certainly not doing that right now. Like, this play is another one where it's going to be a man coverage play. It's once again a one-on-one matchup. And listen, Baltimore, they have a lot of good corners who can come in and make plays, right? You're playing a good defense. There's no denying that. But still, it's man coverage. This is a route that, can work against this coverage. This is a good situation here for Quentin Johnston. So, going up one-on-one against Brandon Stevens, who's a good corner. No denying it. Like, I'm not trying to say this is an easy situation, but let's see how he does. Well, Herbert's going to take the snap. We are going to, lose him for a second on screen. You look right now and might think, wow, he's wide open. There's nobody near him. Well, no, that's just because this footage is a little blurry. There's a Ravens player who's literally right behind him. There's no separation whatsoever. Zero separation. As you see, Stevens knocks that football away, and Johnston just can't get open, ends up getting banged up on that play as well. And it's just one of those things where it's like, this is tough. I mean, it's tough by the Chargers. And I want to be clear, because a lot of people might think, oh yeah, guy who's, if he's not a separation guy, it makes sense he's not working out. He really was a separation guy in college. He really did do a good job at finding ways to get open, but I think it's just possible that against the higher level of competition, it's just not working out as well, and it's part of what makes evaluating wide receivers so difficult. A lot of his sort of fakes and a lot of his route running things allowed him to get open. Like, it's the same thing with Drake London. Like, in college, I didn't see a big difference between Drake London and Quentin Johnston, but in the NFL, Drake London's moves are still working. He's still finding ways to get defenders out of position, and, if the Falcons ever threw him the ball, he would, be getting more open, right, and getting more yards and all that stuff. For Quentin Johnston, his moves they're different, but they worked just as well in college, and now here at the NFL level, they're not working as much. His route running isn't getting guys as out of position as he would like, and because of that, he doesn't really have right now the speed and the acceleration and the contested catch ability to still find ways to make plays work. At the end of the day, though, I'm not expecting him to be better at contested catches. You hope some of the drops clear up. That's something you're hoping. But, I'm not expecting it to be that much better. I'm not expecting him to get that much faster. The hope, if you're a Chargers fan, is he gets better at route running. He was good at it in college. He's kind of been punched in the mouth here this season. Can he figure some things out? Sure, it's possible, but I got to be honest. If I'm running the Chargers, I'm not going to cut him or anything, but I'm playing it out as though, this offseason, as though he's not good. That's how I'm viewing it. I'm viewing it as he's just someone who's going to be on the roster. Don't pay attention. If we need another receiver, go out and get another receiver. And then if he ends up being awesome, well, then cool. Now, that's a good problem to have if you have too many receivers. But that's how I view Johnston right now. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.